Good afternoon, my dear JPO aspirants. Mark number 7 గురించి explanation చెప్తాను. Number 1, which of the following apply to employers and employees across Canada? అంటే ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ ఇన్సూరెన్స్ అండ్ కెనడా క్యూబెక్ పెన్షన్ ప్లాన్ అనేది అప్లై అవుతుంది. which sections of the code of criminal procedure takes care of the powers of certifying officers and appellate authorities అంటే 345 and 346. Which of the following is not one of the grounds for disqualification for being elected as a member of parliament? అంటే ఈ గ్రౌండ్స్ కాదు. which of the following is not one of the grounds for disqualification for being elected as a member of parliament అంటే if a person has been detained under the preventive detention law అనే దాన్ని మనం ఆన్సర్ చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. Fourth, the tendency of firms to extend their sales or manufacturing to new markets abroad is known as globalization. Under Workmen's Compensation Act 1923, the appropriate government shall appoint managing agent. Number 6, in any factory or industrial establishment where less than 1,000 employees are employed, the wages shall be paid before the expire of the 7th day. 7th, the globalization of markets and manufacturing has vastly increased because of international competition. 8th, section 211 of the PF Act 1952 defines superannuation. Superannuation అంటే కూడా నేను ఇక్కడ స్టార్ మార్క్ పెట్టించాను మీకు. A superannuation is an organizational pension program created by a company for the benefit of its employees. Funds deposited in a superannuation account will grow typically without any tax implications until retirement or withdrawal. 9th, which among the following amendments of the Constitution of India Delhi was designed as national capital territory? 69th amendment prakaram idi. Then the 10th, the process of analyzing manufacturing process, reducing production costs and compensating employees based on their performance levels is found in scientific management. 11, who administers ESI fund ante ESI corporation. 12th, which of the following was given emphasis in Frederick Taylor's theory on HRM ante compensation tied to performance. Number 13, which section of the Equal Remuneration Act defines a remuneration? అంటే సెక్షన్ 2G ఈక్వల్ రెమ్యునరేషన్ యాక్ట్లో రెమ్యునరేషన్ గురించి డిఫైన్ చేశారు. నెంబర్ 14, మేనేజ్మెంట్ ప్రాక్టీస్ ఇన్ ద లేట్ 1800 అండ్ ఎర్లీ 1900 ఈజ్ ఎంపసైజ్డ్ టాస్క్ సింప్లిఫికేషన్ అండ్ పెర్ఫార్మెన్స్ బేస్డ్ పే. 15th, in terms of the labor laws 1988, small establishment means an establishment in which not less than 10 and not more than 40 persons are employed or were employed on any day of the preceding 12 months, and very small establishment means an establishment in which not more than 9 persons are employed or were employed on any day of preceding 12 months. ఇది స్మాల్ అండ్ వెరీ స్మాల్ అని చెప్పడానికి. మేరీ పార్కర్ పోలెట్ వాజ్ ఎ బిలీవర్ ఇన్ సెల్ఫ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్. దీంట్లో వారి గురించి రాశాం. మేరీ పార్కర్ పోలెట్ సెప్టెంబరు 3, 1868 నుంచి ఆయన డిసెంబర్ 18, 1933 వరకు ఉన్నారు. ఆయన వాజ్ ఎన్ అమెరికన్ సోషల్ వర్కర్, మేనేజ్మెంట్ కన్సల్టెంట్, ఫిలాసఫర్ అండ్ పయనీర్ ఇన్ ద ఫీల్డ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ థియరీ అండ్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ బిహేవియర్. సో హీ హ్యాస్ బీన్ కాల్డ్ ది మదర్ ఆఫ్ మోడర్న్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ అని కూడా వీరిని అంటారు. తర్వాత 17th, which of the following statements is correct regarding the Election Commission of India? It consists of members having tenure of 6 years. 18th, what is the rate of wages in fact that is the employer gets during the subsistence period in case of delay in the completion of the disciplinary action? Suspend అయితే ఆయన డిసిప్లినరీ యాక్షన్ తీసుకోవడానికి దానికి డిలే అయినట్టయితే 75% పేమెంట్ ఇవ్వాలి. దీంట్లో ఏంటంటే 50% ఆఫ్ వేజెస్ ఆర్ గివెన్ ఇమీడియట్లీ ఆఫ్టర్ ది డేట్ ఆఫ్ సస్పెన్షన్ ఫర్ ది ఫస్ట్ 90 days ఆఫ్ సస్పెన్షన్. అది ముందు 50% ఇచ్చేయాలి. తర్వాత 19th, the dispute of individual workman is deemed to be industrial dispute if the dispute or difference is connected with or arising out of the following where neither other other workmen or any union workman is partly to the dispute. Discharge gaani, dismissal gaani, retracement gaani, or otherwise termination of service of an individual worker. The industrial dispute kinda vastundi. 20th, the management philosophy based on the belief that attitudes and feelings of the workers are important, deserve more attention, is known as the human relations movement. How long a person should have participated in High Court to be eligible to be appointed as a judge of Supreme Court at 10 years durationally. 22nd, the Hawthorne studies are closely linked with the human relations movement. 23rd, the term employer is defined in the section 2E of the PF Act. 24th, which of the following statements is true of the Hawthorne studies? Worker morale was greatly influenced by such factors as the supervisor leadership style. 25th, which of the following activities was part of the traditional role of personal management in the early 19th century? Hiring and firing of employees. Hiring and firing ante eto rasanu ikkada. Employment termination can also be involuntary. When an employee is terminated by the employer, employee can be terminated for cause. In that case, an employee is fired or dismissed from their job. Employees can also be laid off when there is no work available for them. Varu gaani, veeru gaani, undachchu, povachu. Hiring and firing. 26. Who is an exempted employee under the Employee State Insurance Act 1948? Employee who is not liable under the Act to pay the employee's contribution. And ఇది కనుక ఎవరైతే పే చేయాల్సిన అవసరం ఉండదంటే బిలో ది లిమిట్ ఉంటే ఈజ్ an exempted employee అవుతాడు. 27th, in early 1900, personal administration as it was then called played a very subservient role in organization. దానికి ఏంటి అర్థం ఏంటంటే compliant, obedient, submissive or having the qualities of a servant. Something that subservient has been made useful or put into the service of something else. 28th, the jurisdiction covering the Andaman and Nicobar Islands falls under the supervision of a circuit bench of the Calcutta High Court at Port Blair. 29th, the Equal Remuneration Act extends to whole of India. 30th, the second phase of personal management arrived in the 1930 with minimum wages legislation. 31, can a person who is recruited for work abroad by a company be termed as a workman under the Workman Compensation Act as? 32, which of these deductions under section 7 of the payment as is not authorized? Deduction of per payment of uniform and property. అంటే యూనిఫామ్కి ఇచ్చిన ఖర్చు ఏది కూడా డిడక్షన్ మీద తీసేయడానికి వీలేదు. దిస్ ఈజ్ నాట్ అన్ ఆథరైజ్డ్ వన్. 33, if you are an HR professional in 1940 or 1950s, you would like to have had the following activities added onto your portfolio of existing responsibilities: handling, orientation and performance appraisals. అసలు పెర్ఫార్మెన్స్ అప్రైజల్స్ అంటే ఏంటంటే performance appraisal is a systematic process that evaluates an individual employee's performance in terms of his productivity with respect to the predetermined set of objectives. 34, the Trade Unions Act empowers a trade union to create general fund for its administration and maintenance. A trade union purchased shares in the Unit Trust of India to enhance its general fund account. Which of the following is not correct as per the law? దీంట్లో ఏమన్నాము? ది ట్రేడ్ యూనియన్స్ యాక్ట్ ఎంపవర్స్ ఎ ట్రేడ్ యూనియన్ టు క్రియేట్ జనరల్ ఫండ్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ అండ్ మెయింటెనెన్స్ కోసం జనరల్ ఫండ్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అన్నాం. కానీ ఇక్కడ ఏమి ఇచ్చాడు? ఏ ట్రేడ్ యూనియన్ పర్చేజ్డ్ షేర్స్ ఇన్ ద యూనిట్ ట్రస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా టు enhance its general fund account. Which of the following is not correct? అంటే the trade union cannot do so as it is an attempt towards profit making. షేర్స్ కొంటే ఏమవుతుంది? ప్రాఫిట్లు వస్తాయి. అందుకే ప్రాఫిట్ సీకింగ్ కాదు కదా ఇది. కాబట్టి the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution deals with the administration and control of scheduled areas and scheduled tribes in the 4 states of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. The 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution deals with the administration and control of scheduled areas and scheduled tribes in the 4 states అంటే Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. 36. A list of unfair labor practices on the part of the trade unions and employees was included in industrial disputes. Unfair practices on the part of the trade unions and employers was included in the Industrial Disputes Act. The third 37. The third major phase in personal management was a direct result of the increasing amount of government legislation. Tarvata 38. The term employee is defined in the section 2F of the PF Act 1952. 39. The third phase of personal management was concerned largely with కార్పొరేట్ కంట్రిబ్యూషన్ అండ్ ప్రొయాక్టివ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్. అసలు ఏంటి ప్రొయాక్టివ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఏంటంటే, ప్రొయాక్టివ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఇది అప్రోచ్ టు ది మేనేజ్మెంట్ వేర్ ది లీడర్ రన్స్ ది కంపెనీ ప్రొయాక్టివ్లీ, మీనింగ్ రాదర్ దే కేర్, దే ఆర్ యాక్టివ్ ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ సీకింగ్ అవుట్ న్యూ ఆపర్చునిటీస్ ఫర్ ది కంపెనీ అండ్ డీలింగ్ విత్ ఎనీ థ్రెట్స్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ బిఫోర్ దే ఈవెన్ ఎమర్జ్. తర్వాత 40. Small establishments were required to furnish returns and maintain registers in the form set out in the second schedule to the Labour Laws 1988. 41. The fourth phase of HRM is ongoing. Current management thinking holds that employees are often the firm's best competitive advantage. Section 10B in the Act deals with additional matters to be provided in the standing orders relating to all industrial establishments. 43. Characteristics of the profession include many diverse points of view. 44. Medical care is provided to the retired, permanently disabled, insured persons and their spouses on payment of token annual premium of 120 rupees. కడితే మీకు రిటైర్మెంట్ తర్వాత కూడా provided to retired and permanently disabled candidates కూడా మెడికల్ కేర్ తీసుకుంటారు. The 45. The broad activity objectives of the HR association across the country including assisting in the provision of training in the field of HR, providing opportunities for information exchange, serving as a voice for HR practitioners, skill updating. ఇవన్నీ కూడా దానికే చెందుతాయి. Under the Maternity Benefit Act, a woman employee would get a medical bonus of 3,500. 47. The Canadian national body through which all provincial and specialist HR associations are affiliated is called the Canadian Council of Human Resources Association. The Swaran Singh Committee recommended inclusion of fundamental duties in the Indian Constitution. ఈ స్వరణ్ సింగ్ గారి గురించి చెప్తే in 1976 the Congress party set up the Sardar Swaran Singh Committee to make recommendations about the fundamental duties, the need and the necessity of which was felt during the operation of the internal emergency 1975-1970 మధ్యలో. 49. Payoffs associated with properly implemented ethics program include increased stakeholder confidence, greater client, customer and employee loyalty, increased profits, decreased vulnerability to legal liability issues. Payoff is a payment made to someone, especially as a bribe or on leaving a job. Payoff అంటే అర్థం అది. 50th. The scheme defined under section 2(1)(b) of the PF Act 1952 is insurance scheme. 51. Under a unitary approach, the industrialization is grounded in mutual cooperation, individual treatment, teamwork and shared goals. ఇవన్నీ కూడా అండర్ యూనిటరీ అప్రోచ్లో ఉంటాయి. 52. The implied, enforced or felt obligations of the managers acting in their official capacities to serve or protect the interests of groups other than themselves is known as social responsibility. సామాజిక బాధ్యత. 53. In which year was the Indian National Trade Union Congress formed? 1948. 54. Which of the following schedules of the Constitution of India has to be amended to provide for the formation of new state? First schedule. 55. Which of the following is an illegal industrial action as per law? Garao. Garao అంటే అర్థం ఏంటి? A protest in which workers prevent employers or managers from leaving a place of work until certain demands అన్నమాట. అంటే గరావ్ చేయటం అంటే వాళ్ళని అక్కడి నుంచి కదలకుండా చేయటం, ఎంప్లాయర్స్ని కానీ వాళ్ళు అపాయింట్ చేసిన మేనేజర్స్ని కానీ వాళ్ళ కోరికలు తీర్చుకోవడం కోసం. ఇది మీకు ఇల్లీగల్ ఇండస్ట్రియల్ యాక్షన్ అంటాం ఇది. తర్వాత 56 ద ఈక్వల్ రెమ్యునరేషన్ యాక్ట్ వాజ్ ఎనాక్టెడ్ బై ది పార్లమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా టు గివ్ ఎఫెక్ట్ టు విచ్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ ప్రావిజన్స్ అండ్ ఆర్టికల్ 39. 57 టేకింగ్ ఏ స్టాండ్ ఆన్ యాంటీ యానిమల్ టెస్టింగ్, హ్యూమన్ రైట్స్ ప్రొటెక్షన్ అండ్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంటల్ కన్జర్వేషన్ is an example of sense of social responsibility. In 58, Industrial Employment Standing Orders Act is applicable in every industrial establishment where 100 workmen are employed. What is the maximum limit of fine to be imposed on the employee? Maximum, it should not exceed an amount equal to 33% of the wage payable. 60th, which is not a method of performance appraisal, straight ranking method, man-to-man comparison method, checklist method ivi kaadu. 61, the officer designated by the public authorities in all administrative units or offices under it provide information to the citizen requesting for information under the act is known as public information officer. 62, who has the power under the Employment Exchange Act 1959 to notify the date requiring establishment in public sector to furnish returns and information in the prescribed from the appropriate government. Tarata, training information system included training needs. 64, under this act, employers shall not be liable to pay compensation in respect of any injury which does not result in total or partial disablement of the workman for a period exceeding 3 days. 65, so one of the following items subjects belongs to the concurrent list of the 7th schedule of the Indian Constitution అంటే ఫారెస్ట్ దీంట్లో లేదు. సో బై దిస్ ఐ కంప్లీటెడ్ ద కీ మార్క్ టెస్ట్ నెంబర్ కీ 7. సో బీ prepare well to meet the competitive examination on the 10th February. Wish you all success. Good day.